It's time for one last trip on the Contra Shattered Soldier Train. This is a bit of a supplementary video. Consider it the DVD extras, if you will. Basically, what I had to do was go back and complete the game another couple of times and get that coveted S rank, which is like maybe the fourth time I've ever S ranked this game. And I had to go and actually force myself to get a B because this game does not just give you all of the B unlocks even if you complete the game with an A rank. So I had to complete the game 3 times over the course of doing this LP, but it's a good game, so it didn't bother me too much. So without further ado, why don't we go have a look at all that fun stuff we unlocked in this little etc. menu. As you can see here, we've got the War Record Training Database and the Theater. The War Record just keeps track of your play data. It's how much you've played the game, time spent, high score, how many times you've completed the game, and the highest rank you've completed the game with. As you can see, I got my shiny S there. You're totally jealous right now. The training mode lets you play any stage with 30 lives. When you initially start the game up, you can actually practice the first 4 stages to get you ready to take on Mission 5. And anytime you complete 5, 6, or 7 with any rank, you actually unlock them in training as well. So the game kind of like is fairly generous about letting you finally get to the end, so long as you can just continue bettering your skills and keep boss patterns and stuff memorized, which that's really the biggest part of the game, is just kind of keeping things memorized. So we got the database, theater, and gallery. We're going to stop by the old database first. And as you can see here, we've got like a list of characters and a bunch of years. This is basically just simple information that they kind of threw in here to make the story make sense, I guess. It doesn't really, but we'll go ahead and have a look at all this stuff. I forgot how silly this typography looked and this really interesting choice of fonting and texturing they got here. That's something. I'm not even sure what you'd call that style. It's pretty garish, I must say. Moving on, I'm not going to read the rest of this stuff to you because I'm sure that nobody comes to a Let's Play to be read to, and I don't feel like reading. So if you want to read all this stuff, I'll give you adequate enough time to pause. I'm just going to be blabbering about it every now and again. This is Lucia is one of the first games, or one of the game's first tiebacks to Contra Hardcore, because she was basically planned by Dr. Geo Mandrake, who was a principal character in that game. And then we move on to our good buddy Lance Bean. He's still got I never understood that last name. Maybe I'm missing the reference or something. If I am, feel free to call me out on my bullshit. And the Triumvirate, because these guys were super important, and Toilet was an okay guy, I guess. It's an unfortunate name to have, though. And these years here are breaking down of the Contra timeline. As you can see, we start here with the arcade/NES version of the first Contra game. Just, hey, it is what it is. And then we move on to Super Contra/Super C, which is really good game, both of them. I consider Super C to be the far superior 8-bit game. But I really like the arcade game as well, even if it is a touch on the stupidly difficult side. And this one makes me really happy, just to know that Operation C is canon. I don't know why that would make me happy, because, I mean, again, it's Contra, and the very notion of Contra having an ongoing story is just really silly. And then we move to Contra 3, The Alien Wars, which, it's a game that most people seem to love, but I just think it's kind of sloppy and half-assed in a lot of ways. And I just never really thought it was that great. I do, however, think Contra Hardcore is a fantastic game. And here you've got, this is the game, obviously, where Dr. Geo Mandrake comes from. They mention Ray Powered, but I guess Sheena, Brownie, and Fang aren't cool enough to be mentioned by name. And this is the hypermagnetic weapon malfunction incident that gets referenced a lot in this game's weirdo story. This is the incident that is the catalyst for this game's story existing, so I guess that's alright. And then you've got the Blood Falcon, where they come in and do Blood Falcon-y things like evil. That's what people with names like Blood Falcon do, right? They do evil. So we'll move on to the gallery. We'll save the theater for last. Remember how in the first episode I said that these were Bill and Lucia's Neo Contra designs? I was wrong. It's their Shattered Soldier designs. There's Lance with his big leg armor. Compensating much, dude? And there's your anteater bike. It looks like an anteater anyway. Or a horse, maybe? And I really like this sketch of the jet ski robot. Just a really cool, obviously Western kind of flavor to it. I'm kind of liking the Western flavor overall of this concept art, really. This guy's gross. There's C-Man. There's our good buddy. He's a cool boss, even if his stage is a little boring. And we've got some storyboards, which I think might be from the intro. I can't really tell. It might just be something that's not in the game. I'm not entirely sure. It's just a little hard to tell at this resolution. But yeah, I think that's from the intro. And there's Mr. Helirobo. I love that his name is Mr. Helirobo, because for some reason, you know, even though I mocked him a lot anytime he showed up during the LP, I think that the fact that he's named Mr. Helirobo is adorable. And there's another shot of Lucia. Very, very, very sketched. And this he's having a time, I guess. Robot. I think Froggy looks kind of cute here. Looks almost like he's smiling at me. Fuck this guy, I don't care. And your Heart Boss. And this really cool throwback to Super C. I really, really, really like this design. I think it's just really cool looking. Just way more menacing. And here's Plant Slinky Boss. I think that this boss would have been way more terrifying if it would have had this weirdo child thing hanging out in the middle of it. And there's this. And then, this is a real rough sketch. But I like to have this in here. I mean, it's like, I really have to wonder how early in the design this is. And, you know, we leave it on a good note. Our good friend, Snail Truck, makes one final appearance. Never forget. Never forget. And finally, the theater. Satellite weapon. This is the game's bad ending. And I'll go ahead and just play that now. The only thing you're missing out on there is a few text boxes saying that, like, the Triumvirate are the ones that made that happen. They're basically just trying to eliminate all traces of Bill Reiser, Lance, Lucia, and the Moirai Relic. And they, you know, because that's what they do. But the real reason for getting an S rank is this little video here, Contra versus, like, Icon. And believe me, it's absolutely worth unlocking, but thanks to the miracle of YouTube, You don't have to. You can go ahead and watch it here. So I will boost the old volume here and let you guys enjoy this in all of its glory. So yeah, tell me that wasn't worth it. Absolutely, just a fantastic little video. That's actually Contra versus Sparkster from Rocket Knight Adventures, which is a super awesome Genesis game if you ever get the chance to play it. Yeah, that is about all she wrote for Contra Shattered Soldier. Just a fantastic game. I, again, hope you've enjoyed this little Let's Play that I've done. And I hope at some point in the future I'm able to play Neo Contra for you all. But until that is unfucked up emulation-wise, I don't think I'll be able to rip my disc and actually play it. So, maybe there will be more Contra on this channel, maybe there won't. I don't know. I don't even plan half of this stuff. Like, the idea to do this Let's Play, I pulled it out of my ass one night. I was like, I'm gonna see if this works, and then it did work. But anyway, thanks again, everybody, who stuck around for all of this nonsense, and we'll catch you next time.